Welcome, everyone, to the Western Conference semifinals at the sold-out American Airlines Center in downtown Dallas, Texas. It's Game 4 as the top seed Phoenix Suns take on the Dallas Mavericks. The Suns lead the best-of-7 series 2-1. With Doug Collins and Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller, this is Kevin Harlan with now a look at our McDonald's starting lineups. Little change, and Doug, again, we're going to be watching the guards. The two-point guards for Jesus with Steve Nash against Jason Terry.
Well, Kevin, you and I had a chance to speak to Avery Johnson before the game. He said he had a conversation with Jason Terry in front of the team. He said, look, we would not be in the second round without you. You were our most valuable player against Houston. We need you to be aggressive, to attack on the pick and rolls, to set the tone for our team. Look at Avery Johnson there, and speaking with him before the game, I think he felt very confident that Jason Terry was going to come out and play well. And I agree with Magic Johnson. If Dallas can get into the lane, get some opportunities inside, get to the free throw line, dribble, penetrate, they'll have a great chance tonight to try to even this series.
Doug, both newspapers in both Phoenix and Dallas have made a big deal about the number of minutes that the starters for the Phoenix Suns are playing. In particular, as you take a look at some of the records in the regular season, of course, in the playoffs at home, Dallas 2-3. Would that be a concern of yours to play your starters that many minutes in these games?
Well, I think Mike D'Antoni feels that his team is very well conditioned. Steve Nash knows when to pick and choose his spots. Marion and Stoudemire can run all day long, so I don't think that's a concern now. But as the series, if it gets into 7 games, it definitely could be something looking down the road.
Solid crew working this one. Bennett Salvatore, Joe DeRosa, Mark Wunderlich. And here is Nash coming off a 27-point performance, and Stoudemire quickly crowded, and Richardson for 3 and a Dampier rebound.
Saw the early double team on Stoudemire to try and get the basketball up. That's when Richardson's shot, though. He loves that 3 on the angle.
And Richardson now guards Josh Howard at the other end. Travel on a turnover, the first tonight for the Dallas Mavericks.
Oh, just the presence of Amari Stoudemire. Blocked 5 shots in Game 3. A couple of them sensational block shots. He knocked completely out of bounds. So Josh Howard looking over his shoulder, trying to find him.
In this series, Phoenix has won by 25 and 17 points. Dallas has won a game by 2. It's Nash to Stoudemire with Dampier defending.
Well, this young guy is playing sensational basketball game. His presence and power around that basket has set some kind of tone.
Jason Terry picked up by Nash, and Michael Finley for 2. This pace is what the Suns want.
Well, you can see the matchups. They're going to play a big man on Nash. You're not going to see Terry much against him as you see Nash in the lane, but they're opening up with Josh Howard on him. You'll see Finley against him, maybe Marquise Daniels, but they do not want Jason Terry guarding Nash.
Marion is on Terry, and no one is on Josh Howard from 3. Dampier with the offensive rebound. That's what he did in Game 2.
Well, he needs a great start and staying out of foul trouble. Avery Johnson also told us if he picks up 2 early fouls, he's staying on the floor. Doesn't do any good to be an assistant coach.
Wild pass by Nash and picked up by Jason Terry. And over Nash. Terry hits, and he's got to be aggressive.
Absolutely. Again, Kevin, he was terrific in that Houston series. Remember Game 4, he had 32 points, hit some huge shots, and then the deciding Game 7, 31 points. Got to the line 12 times. He's only shot 2 free throws in the first 3 games of this series. That tells you a little bit about his aggression.
There's the NBA Coach of the Year, Mike D'Antoni.
This Phoenix team, though, was tough on Friday night. When that game was on the line, Kevin, they were as good as I've seen them play all season long. The sense of purpose that they had.
And Josh Howard against Richardson.
That long, quick step of Howard. We saw that in the Houston series. He has the ability to get to the basket.
And Nash all the way underneath. He's got such confidence in his game right now.
He's just so under control at all times. It's the essence of the game is deception with him. Very fortunate at that time as Dampier went to the low post against Stoudemire. Remember now, Amari Stoudemire does not want to foul, Kevin, so he should be able to get some easy shots inside.
Dampier has started 2 at 2 with Stoudemire inside. His foul. Maybe Finley got a chunk of him as he went inside. And we're We're going to see Amari Stoudemire at the free throw line. The foul goes on Finley for the first time, and Amari Stoudemire, Doug, has taken more free throws than any other NBA playoff player this postseason.
Well, he's averaging over 16 attempts in this series. That's his 50th attempt. You see his numbers. Look at the points up from the regular season against Dallas, the rebounding, the free throw attempts. He has been some kind of spectacular in the first 3 games of this series.
Amari Stoudemire coming off a 37-point, 14-rebound performance in Game 3. Here comes Dallas. They have hit 4 consecutive shots. They have started 4 of 6. Dirk Nowitzki.
Well, 8 for 24 against Sean Marion in Game 3. Everybody in Dallas is waiting for him to have a breakout game.
Suns have started 3 of 4. The first minutes of this first quarter. And Richardson.
That's where he was a load when he played for the Clippers. On that block, I thought they got a little bit out of sync in Game 2, trying to go to him with that mismatch against Jason Terry. I think Steve Nash is going to have to pick and choose. The bread and butter of this team is Stoudemire, Nash, pick and roll, everybody playing off of it. Occasionally drop that ball down in the post, let somebody go to work.
Now here's Howard. Maybe he'll be trying to pick and roll with Nowitzki as Nowitzki faces the double. And the shot clock is down to 7 for Jason Terry with a Howard screen and over Richardson. Marion with the rebound. And a 3 from Quentin Richardson. Stoudemire gets it.
So quick on that second jump.
Look at that pass by Nash to Marion. Michael Finley. And that is thrown away with another turnover for Dallas. They've got 2 and Phoenix has 2 so far.
You can see Phoenix so aware of Michael Finley when he comes off those screens. In Game 2, he was brilliant. 5 of 6 from 3, had 31 points.
Terry with a nice steal for the Dallas Mavericks and leads it the other way and flips it to Finley for 2. Nash with the rebound. Nash into Terry and picked up by an aggressive Jimmy Jackson, who's taking the place of Joe Johnson and doing a very good job at it.
Well, he was terrific, Kevin, the other night. He had a big 3 in the corner, a couple key tip-ins in that fourth quarter, 17 points in 42 minutes.
8 rebounds, 2 for Jackson in Game 3.
Yeah, he was terrific.
Terry.
Again, that presence of Stoudemire, you don't know when he's going to go to block the shot. That time, Terry just sort of pulled the string. And there's Quentin Richardson. He's missed 3 of those very makeable threes. That's the spot he likes on the floor.
So Richardson has started 1 of 4. As Doug said, from long distance, he hasn't hit. Here's Dirk Nowitzki. And Dirk has started 2 of 2.
He loves to come down and transition at you, but don't blink because Stoudemire is right back at you.
Stepped out of bounds. Now Jerry Stackhouse will come in, Doug, for the Dallas Mavericks and take the place of Michael Finley.
Jerry Stackhouse had great energy the other night. He struggled early, then he worked himself to a decent game. He had 20 points off the bench, only 6 of 18 from the floor, but he did get to the line 8 times, had 5 offensive rebounds. Armstrong in the game early, so it looks like they're going to try to get up the floor and try to really pressure Steve Nash now with Darrell Armstrong in the game.
Stackhouse in this playoffs has averaged 14 points a game with a miss right there from point-blank range. Here comes Nash. And into Quentin Richardson. So Richardson not scoring from outside, 2 times inside. Nash another assist.
That's a smart play. You get that, don't have the jumper going, get inside, get you a couple layups, and then move yourself out on the floor.
Neither team has hit a 3 as of yet. Let's see if Stackhouse is the first.
Right on cue. They missed their first 10 threes of the game the other night, only 1 of 18. Jerry Stackhouse actually hit the first 3 of the game the other night for them, but that was in the 3rd period, right at the end of the 3rd period when they cut the lead to 5.
I mean, 1 of 18, my goodness.
Yeah, that's not good.
Nash called the foul. Armstrong in the game for the first time takes it. And that's a new little wrinkle for Dallas to bring him in as early as they are.
They want him up the floor pressuring him, then they'll put a bigger guy on him. They're going to keep changing looks at Steve Nash. Try to wear him down as this game goes on, make him work on both ends of the floor. Dallas is off to a good start here, Kevin. Nowitzki's hit a couple shots. Jason Terry's being aggressive. Good signs for the Mavs.
Welcome back to Dallas. Well, this past Thursday, the Suns' Joe Johnson underwent successful eye surgery to repair a fractured eye socket. He obviously did not make this trip. He is resting comfortably back in Phoenix. I was told by Brian Colangelo, the team's president and general manager, that no timetable has been set for his return. It could be anywhere from 10 days, 2 weeks, to possibly more, but it is the doctor's decision. He did tell me, however, that Johnson will be fitted tomorrow for a protective mask, but right now the team is prepared to go the rest of the way without Johnson, guys.
The kind of mask that Richard Hamilton wears for the champion Pistons.
Yeah, but what a tough break that was. You see on the wristbands, it says JJ2 in sort of honor of their teammate who got injured. And Kevin, we want to send our best to JJ. He's back watching in Phoenix. I know he really wants to be here with his team, and they miss him. And let's hope he can get back on this court soon.
Neither team made a change out of that break as Nowitzki goes inside. Howard picks up the loose ball, and Dampier takes another. And just as we saw in Game 2, which Dallas won, Dampier has gone 3 of 3, another offensive rebound, and he gives Dallas their biggest lead tonight.
Again, you see Armstrong out pressuring Nash, trying to keep him in front of him. They'd like to make him a jump shooter. They'll live with that. They want Nash shooting the ball and not getting others involved. The other night, 27 points and 17 assists led to 60 points.
And Nash already has started 3 of 4. Richardson faking a 3. Jackson from 3. Jimmy Jackson.
How about when you have a pro like that on your team, you pick him up from New Orleans. He did not report. You bring him in, comes off the bench. The more minutes he gets, the better he plays.
Nash's 6 points lead all scorers. Shot clock is down to 5, and Stackhouse is in a grip. Rebound Howard, an offensive rebound, and Dallas does that so well.
Had 24 offensive rebounds, Kevin, in Game 3, but they only got 19 points off of him. So they have got to continue to pound that offensive backboard, but they've got to be able to cash them into points.
They had 5 ties and 3 lead changes to start this game, and this is Jimmy Jackson again. And Dampier rips down another rebound, so he's got 4 rebounds and 6 points for Dallas.
I think Avery had another little talk with Eric Dampier. He's got a little bit of bounce in his step tonight.
I think you're right, and I think he had one with Jason Terry as well. Here's Nowitzki.
That's a tough shot, but look at it again. Another offensive rebound. Quentin Richardson did not block off the boards. That's twice in a row now. You force him to take a very difficult shot. Early in Game 3, they really hammered the offensive boards. They were up 15-6 rebounding-wise in the first quarter of Game 3.
Here comes the MVP, 31-year-old Steve Nash. And spoon feed Stoudemire, who was fouled, it looked like, before the shot. A look at Avery Johnson. And let's take a look at the blueprint to success for the Dallas Mavericks, down 2-1 tonight.
Kevin, pace of the game. The season, they averaged about 82 shots a game. Game 3, they took 100 shots. In Game 1, 98. So they've got to be smart with the amount of shots they take. Defend the 3 in the 2 losses. Minus 30 in one game, minus 21 another, so minus 51 in those 2 areas, and make shots. Game 3, you see what they shot, Kevin, on the season. When they shoot 45% or better, they are 43-3, and in the playoffs, 5-1. Where they do not shoot 45% or better, they're 0-4. For Dallas, making shots triggers a lot of good things to happen for them.
And we've seen it early with Dampier, so establishing the post, as we have seen, part of that equation.
And what he's done, Dampier, early in the game, he's got 3 hustle plays, 3 hustle baskets for 6 points. That's what we saw in Game 2 when he had 15 and 12.
And it's Steve Nash with the left hand. We saw a couple of those the other night in Game 3.
How about 12 of his field goals the other night in the game? 6 of them were left-handed.
And Dampier, there's a foul. And it's on Leandro Barbosa, the Brazilian, who picks up his first. He just checked in the lineup. He's out there with Nash. Normally, he takes the place of Nash on the floor.
Well, the reason he's with Nash right now is you see this running left-handed hook. Again, Steve Nash makes it look so easy. They would like for Barbosa to play with Nash, get into the game, get acclimated, and then when Steve Nash rests, they'll come back off the bench, and Barbosa will be ready to run the point.
Both teams have started over 52% shooting from the floor in this first quarter. And Doug, let's take a look at the keys for Phoenix coach Mike D'Antoni and his Suns tonight in Game 4.
Well, Amari is on a roll. They'd like to see that continue. His numbers have been off the chart in every phase of his game. What a balanced offense they had in Game 3. 33 points from the three-point line, 60 points in the paint. Defensive rebounding, 24 offensive rebounds in Game 3 tonight, already 4 of which Mavs have 8 second-chance points. Very positive sign for the Mavericks getting to the glass.
Very small lineup out there for Phoenix as Dirk Nowitzki hits again. He has started 3 of 4.
You see Josh Howard now playing Nash. You've got Darrell Armstrong over on Barbosa. The matchups continue to change.
And Nowitzki is guarding his old teammate Steve Nash, who flips it to Barbosa and across the lane over Armstrong. There's another Dallas rebound, and they are just one up on Phoenix in that category, 9-8. Great shot by Nowitzki again, who continues to score well. He and Nash have a game-high 8 points for their respective teams. That's Amari Stoudemire. And this is Sean Marion with a 3. Another Dallas rebound.
1 of 5 now for the three-point line for these Suns. When they don't shoot it well, they're very vulnerable. Dirk wants the ball over here against Nash. He has a mismatch. They move the ball. They're going to get a wide-open 3.
Stackhouse for 3. And an offensive rebound almost, or was it not the way it was? It's off Armstrong. It's off of Dallas. And Phoenix will come the other way. The Mavericks, Doug, have already corralled 4 offensive rebounds.
And they've converted them all into points, 8 second-chance points. A great hustle there by Darrell Armstrong and Quentin Richardson. That's why Armstrong is in the game. I think Dallas wants to do less switching tonight on the screen rolls than what we've seen in the series. Avery Johnson gave us a stat. He said we switched 20 pick and rolls the other night. They got 33 points against it. We do not want to do that tonight. We want to do a better job.
Dampier just picked up his first. I wonder what kind of hook Avery's going to have on Dampier tonight if he does get in foul problems, as has been his case.
Well, he will not sit on the bench tonight with fouls. He'll foul out. He's not going to leave the building with any fouls in his pocket. Avery told us that. He said if he gets 2, I'm going to leave him in the game and let him keep playing.
Buck and a half to play here in the first quarter. It's Nash and Richardson. The Stackhouse defending in the shot clock at 6 and a foul. With the shot clock going down, Stackhouse picks up a foul. That's the first on Stack.
Jerry very upset at himself. You know, the cardinal rule, you don't want to foul a jump shooter. Had good position at the last second, hit Quentin Richardson on the arm. And see, Quentin Richardson is struggling right now to make his jump shot. You don't want to let him go to the free throw line and make free throws. He steps up and misses first one, but when a shooter's struggling, don't let him see that ball go in the basket.
Phoenix now 3 of 5 from the line. Tuning to catch the action as the WNBA season tips off on ABC when Lisa Leslie and the Sparks travel to Seattle to take on Sue Bird. And the defending champion Seattle Storm on Saturday at 4 o'clock on ABC. A double team Stackhouse who squeezes between the two. They had Barbosa and Richardson will pick up his first personal foul for the Phoenix Suns.
Jerry Stackhouse wanted the 2-shot foul. Bennett Salvatore ruled that he was fouled before he got in the act of shooting. See if they come back to Stackhouse once again against Barbosa in the post. Clock did not start, so they're going to have to reset it. Give the ball sideline out of bounds once again to Dallas. See, the matchup that the Mavericks like here is Barbosa guarding Stackhouse in the post, and if they have to double team, I don't think Jackson's going to be able to come in here because they did not have the clock right, so he's going to have to wait for another stoppage of play.
Jimmy Jackson used to play here for Dallas from 92 to 97. That was his first stop in the NBA. It's Armstrong for 2.
They're going to force a double team. You got Barbosa on Stackhouse. Jerry will take his time, swings it nicely to the weak side of the floor, and Armstrong, who's not shot the ball well this season, knocked in the jump shot.
Dallas is on a 6-0 run. Nobody is in double figures as of yet. Nash to Stoudemire. He took that over Howard. There's another Dampier rebound. He's collected 5 with his 6 points to start the game. Stackhouse in the double. This time Nash and Barbosa, which leaves Armstrong free, but he stepped out of bounds as it was aligning for the shot. And Dallas commits their 4th turnover to the 5 Phoenix turnovers in this first quarter.
You can see Avery Johnson again is going to Stackhouse in that low post. They're trying to get a post game, slow the game down a little bit, get the double teams, kick the ball out for the open shots. Darrell Armstrong that time on the solid floor stepped back with that right foot and stepped out of bounds.
No fouls to give either way, and Dallas enjoying their biggest lead in this first quarter of 5. Suns have won by as many as 4. Nash screened by Stoudemire. Pick and roll. And Howard with another rebound, and they've got time for a shot. Good transition D by Phoenix, and Armstrong for 3. He's hit 2 in a row. And Stoudemire at the buzzer. And the Dallas Mavericks close the first quarter. Doug Collins on a 9-0 run.
Well, the Dallas Mavericks are doing a much better job on their screen roll defense. All those dunks that we saw Amari Stoudemire get are contested shots right now. Their defense leading to their offense are off to a terrific start.
At the end of 1, it's Dallas by 8. Here's what they're doing defensively, the Mavericks against Phoenix inside.
Well, you can see when you're playing as well as he and you start drawing a crowd. 3 men that time kicked out, missed the 3. This time 3 once again. Sean Marion misses the 3. And watch now how Dampier just sort of plays that screen roll soft, trying to keep a body on Stoudemire away from the basket so he cannot get to the front of the rim and dunk the ball or get to the free throw line. So a very, very quiet first 12 minutes for Amari Stoudemire. 1 out of 4 for 5 points. And you can see from points, dunks, layups, and free throws, the other night, 31 of his 37 points. In game 2, 26 of 30. So you've got to make him make shots. You cannot let him dunk the ball, lay it up, and shoot free throws and throw up about a 40-point night. That's what he's been doing.
Dallas comes out of the first quarter shooting 58% from the field. They are plus 8 points in the paint, which is important tonight. Stackhouse, even off balance, makes it work. He's come off the bench for 5, and the Dallas bench has outscored the Phoenix bench 10-0 early on.
Well, they were 37-5 the other night. You would expect that. There's a slip of the big Marion with Jimmy Jackson, but you would expect the Dallas bench to outscore Phoenix by big numbers because Phoenix hardly plays anybody off the bench.
11-2 run now by the Dallas Mavericks. That basket by Phoenix broke a drought of 3.5 minutes going back to the first quarter. Across the lane and inside is Josh Howard. Now what is interesting with Howard trying to concoct something inside is that the Dallas Mavericks, who have not, and Pat McGrath, our statistician, just gave us this, they have not attempted a free throw, Doug, in the last 28 minutes dating back to the last game. This will be their first free throw attempt in 28 minutes. Third quarter, game 3, the last time they shot from there.
Well, we talk about that being a big part of the Phoenix Suns philosophy. In the first half of game 3, they committed 15 fouls. The Mavericks took 21 free throws. They committed 6 fouls in the entire second half, none in the fourth quarter. And they attempted only 2 free throws the entire second half, none in the fourth quarter. So a big part is do not foul, make teams score to try to beat you.
Phoenix Suns have Marion, Stoudemire, Jackson, Barbosa, and Richardson. That's the 5 they begin this second quarter with. Nash is on the bench. Barbosa slithering inside. It's a 6th rebound for Dampier, who's out there with Armstrong and Stackhouse, Nowitzki, and this is Howard. And Howard chases down another offensive rebound for Dallas.
Now Phoenix is playing right now like they're a content team, but they're happy they got that home court back.
Oh, what a pass by Nowitzki and the rejection by Stoudemire. And here comes Phoenix the other way.
Phoenix has got to pick up their energy level. Right now, Dallas is a step ahead in every area. You see the double team running at Stoudemire out on the floor.
Memphis did that in one of the games in the first round against the Phoenix Suns, running all kinds of players as there's a drive by Jackson. Memphis ran about 2 or 3 guys at Stoudemire every time he touched the ball.
But Kevin, it's interesting because he's really not a low post player. He's going to either pop out on the floor and catch the ball and isolate maybe from 16 to 18 feet. You hope he will shoot a jump shot if you're the defender. Where he just punishes you is on the screen roll, rolling to the basket, running the floor in transition, getting on the offensive boards. It's very difficult to take him out of the game defensively because he's such an active player.
Armstrong picked up his 2nd personal foul. And at the free throw line, as you take a look at 22-year-old Amari Stoudemire, At the free throw line is 34-year-old Jimmy Jackson.
Avery Johnson has gone to Darrell Armstrong early in this game. Darrell has played already 8 minutes in this ball game, so he came in for Jason Terry, gave him an immediately shot of adrenaline, and he's still on the floor right now with Jerry Stackhouse off the bench.
The try by Stenhouse is Michael Finley has come in for Howard, and there's another foul, and Quentin Richardson will pick up his third, Doug, his third foul.
That's where that short bench gets you now. What will Mike D'Antoni do? Will he go to Walter McCarty? It looks like what's going to happen. So Walter McCarty will come into the game. Quentin Richardson, who was one of the best three-point shooters in the NBA, will have to sit down. So this is where foul trouble really gets, a sticky situation for the Phoenix Suns.
Mavericks are now 3 of 3 from the free throw line. TNT gives you exclusive doubleheader coverage at Game 5s on Tuesday. The series tied 2-2. Pacers and Pistons, Sonics and Spurs. That also tied at 2-2. And Doug and I will be in Phoenix for exclusive coverage of the Dallas Mavericks and Suns. Game 5 beginning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time Wednesday on TNT. And Nash resting after starting with 8 points, a couple rebounds, and a couple of assists.
See, now Barbosa will have to stay in the game here to run the team with Marion, McCarty, Jackson, Stoudemire. Let's see if Stoudemire can get going.
That was knocked away inside. Another turnover. That's 6 against the Phoenix Suns. Screen by Dampier. This is Nowitzki guarded by Marion, who has given Nowitzki fits. The best defensive player on the Suns. Great move by Nowitzki.
That's a beautiful ball fake. He gets Marion and no one back there to block shots for the Suns on this possession. Dirk takes it right to the basket, gets hit in the head. The opportunity for a three-point play. Nowitzki off to a great start. He has 10 points on 6 shots.
The foul went on Jackson for the first time. Stoudemire and Marion will check out. Steve Nash and Stephen Hunter check in for Mike D'Antoni's Phoenix Suns. And this is Dirk Nowitzki at the line for the first time tonight. He is the first player in double figures with 10, and notching another one right there.
I think Mike D'Antoni's going to let Maury Stoudemire just go over and sit down just a little bit, a little frustrated. You see Armstrong really battling Nash up the floor.
Well, that's one of the few players that can match the energy of Nash.
That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to make him work all night long. And they'll bring a bigger defender on him, and they're going to make him look to score off all these pick and rolls.
Hunter with the screen, the open McCarty for 3, and the rebound inside is reeled in by Dampier, who is playing a Game 2 type Game 4. Armstrong, Nowitzki, McCarty's on him. McCarty with the defense. Nowitzki with the foul.
This is a good matchup for Dampier. He's in the game against Stephen Hunter, who's a center. So very seldom when he plays against Phoenix does he see someone his size. So he should really try to take advantage of this.
Terry is in for Armstrong.
And Dampier is getting a little bit of a rest right now.
Howard comes in for Dampier. And that's a look at the Suns bench with the leading scorer, Barbosa, in this series.
That's how they desperately miss Joe Johnson.
This is Nash with the left hand. And he's a right-handed shooter.
And Joe Johnson's our backup point guard, who's a Mr. Versatility on the perimeter, one of the better perimeter defenders. That's why the other night's win was so impressive, Kevin, without him. To come in here and win by 17.
Nowitzki for 3. And this is a foul, and it's called inside on the Phoenix Suns as Howard goes crashing to the floor. Walter McCarty picks up his first. In this series, Phoenix is up 2-1. A win tonight for Dallas, paramount, because a loss puts them in an elimination game Wednesday in Arizona. Mavericks leading by 11 here in the second quarter. Let's check out tonight's Bud Light around the NBA. And some interesting names with the most unusual, most consecutive 30-plus point games in a row in the playoffs. And the great Elgin Baylor, the great Los Angeles Laker, did it in the early 60s.
That's some kind of list. Look at Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bob McAdoo, Elgin Baylor once again, and Michael Jordan 2 different times with the Chicago Bulls. There's Amari Stoudemire. He has 3 straight 30-point games. trying to get himself composed and come back in with that explosive play that we've seen throughout this playoff series from this young, talented superstar in waiting.
And he's only in his 3rd season in the NBA. Can you believe that? I mean, that is just phenomenal.
You know, Kevin, it's interesting. We talked to Avery Johnson before the game. He said it took in the first series against Houston about the 3rd or 4th game before they got a handle on what they wanted to do defensively. He said they start feeling that way right now as the 3 goes up. They're starting to feel much better about what they want to do defensively against the Suns.
That is a Stephen Hunter foul as he shoved Nowitzki out of the way when that ball was coming down. One thing about Avery Johnson, Doug, and we saw this in the 1st round series against Houston, he made some very poignant moves, some adjustments as that series is going on. It appears as though he has done the same thing early in this series, losing game 1, winning game 2, maybe trying to come back from the loss in game 3. And this game 4 with some subtle changes that so far have paid dividends. Their biggest lead right now, 40-28.
Well, it's a game of matchups, as we know, Kevin, and when you play against the Phoenix Suns, you better be able to defend that screen roll so you do not let Nash come off, get in the lane, and either kick for threes or find Stoudemire for dunks. Tonight, they've done a good job of that. Let's see if Phoenix now can figure out what they're doing and see a way to crack that defense and be able to get inside and do the things they do so well.
Dallas down 7 of 7 from the free throw line with Nash across the lane. Defending is Howard. Doug talked about this at the beginning. A bigger guy on Nash. Barbosa for 3 with 5 seconds on the shot clock.
That's a big shot because Barbosa is one of these kids that when he gets a couple shots to go, it lifts his confidence. He's such a sensitive young guy. He wants to do so well. Has a tendency sometimes to get down on himself, which is what happens with younger players.
And those were Phoenix's first bench points tonight. Here comes Nowitzki across the lane. Great feed to Howard.
Dribble penetration, getting in the lane. The Suns normally want you shooting jump shots.
Phoenix is shooting 48% from the field. Another turnover. Howard comes up with it. Dallas the other way. Daniels in the game. Michael Finley. Marquise Daniels.
Well, this Dallas team is fired up defensively. They're up the floor pressuring. Steve Nash has 4 turnovers in the game and only 2 assists.
Dallas is shooting 56%. They've got 13 from Nowitzki, and Josh Howard has put in 10. Dribble penetration has been one of the keys tonight for the Mavericks.
Well, it breaks your defense down. It gets you to the free throw line. You lay the ball up. You shoot a high percentage. And then the Suns have to take the ball inbounds and go length of the floor. You get a chance to get your defense set. Look at all these energy and hustle plays right now are going to the desperate Mavericks as they're trying to even this series and take it back to the desert.
Dallas by 14, second quarter. You may remember the TV show The A-Team with Mr. T back in the 80s. Well, there's the Avery Johnson team here in Dallas, led by the General. That was his name when he played with many teams in the league. And they've got a great cast of characters, like the Jet, or the Jet 2, or Terry. And then Finley is filthy, and then dirty. And when Steve Nash was here, he was nasty. It is some kind of ensemble. With Mark Cuban leading the brigade, the A-Team. And there he is, the owner, the outspoken owner of the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, you just look at what Dallas is doing early in this game, Kevin, and their game plan is working to perfection. They're forcing Steve Nash to shoot. He's 5 of 6. He only has 2 assists. They forced 4 turnovers. Sean Marion has 1 field goal. Amari Stoudemire has 1. They're combined 2 for 7, and they've taken the three-point shooting out of the game, only 2 of 8. So right now, Avery Johnson has to be very happy. They're winning all the statistical categories, but also be aware that Phoenix is a team that can hit you with a huge spurt.
When was the last time as Nash puts up a 3, his 7th try? Stoudemire back in, and his hook shot goes in. It finally goes in. When was the last time you think Phoenix was down 9 points in fast break points in a game?
Well, that has not been the case, obviously, in this series. In 2 of the games, they have 25 and 24 fast break points. In the game that the Mavericks won, they only got 14. There's Finley. And boy, when he starts shooting the 3 well, it really expands the floor.
And that is the 3rd three-point hit for Dallas tonight. Phoenix is knocked in 2 of 9 above the arc. Nash inside on Howard.
See how they're staying with Stoudemire there? They're not allowing Nash to find him on that roll. Nash is having to shoot the ball. That's his 8th shot attempt here already early in the game.
Right now, the Suns have their largest deficit of the playoffs. And it grows. 17-point Phoenix deficit. The #1 overall seed is staggering here early on in Game 4.
Well, look at them running at Stoudemire. They're giving him no room. A nice play that time by Marion. As his man went to double, he slashed right to the basket. But Stoudemire catches that ball. He's seeing 2 and 3 defenders. Nash on the screen roll. They're trying to make him shoot the ball. They're taking away the three-point shooting.
Howard and Daniels are in with Finley. Dampier is in the middle. The point guard is Jason Terry for Dallas. Marquise Daniels. Nice interception by Nash. Who's out there with Marion, Jackson, Barbosa, and Stoudemire. Jackson wisely slows it up. 7 lead changes, 6 ties in this first half so far.
They're going to go in the post with Jimmy Jackson against Jason Terry.
Shot clock is down to 2 for Jimmy Jackson.
See, Phoenix is not at their best when they try to expose mismatches like that. That's what Dallas had them do in Game 2. They got out of their game plan. They looked and saw mismatches they thought were good for them. 80% of their offense starts with screen roll with Steve Nash and Stoudemire, and then they play off of that. When they try to expose mismatches, they start standing around. That's not who the Phoenix Suns are.
Dampier is screened. Wide open is Howard. Dampier with another offensive rebound. Nash, Marion. Rebound by Jason Terry. Marion tries to take it away and dives and cashes in on the steal.
That's why they call him the Matrix. Did not quit on the play. Great second jump. Long arms. Should have been in the all-league defensive team the way he's played this season long.
Doug, he didn't even make the first 2
That's
teams.
right.
He was 5th in defensive player of the year voting.
Well, he's got to hang in there, and sometimes he'll make the team he's not supposed to.
Howard with the miss. Look at Marquise Daniels.
They are just pounding the Phoenix Suns on the offensive board. The shot goes up, and they are just going to the basket. No one blocking out at all.
Josh Howard alone has 5 offensive rebounds.
14 second chance points.
Nash, Stoudemire again crowded every time he touches the ball, draped with Dallas defenders. And a foul there is called on Daniels.
Shot goes up, inside position for Eric Dampier. He goes up strong. The big man off to a good start. 4 of 4 from the floor, 8 points, and here is the missed shot. This time it is Marquise Daniels. Strong on the weak side of the floor, goes up. 14 second chance points right now. The fast break's 11-2. Points in the paint, 28-16. Total domination right now by Dallas. They just are playing like the more frenetic team. But this game is more important to them. And, you know, Kevin, we talk a lot of time. You cannot give a playoff game away, ever. You've got to play every game. The Suns have to play this game as if this series were tied or they were behind.
You know, the toughest thing to do, Doug, is to win 2 straight road playoff games, and that's what Phoenix was trying to do tonight after winning the other night. There's a foul on a screen, and it's on Josh Howard. But the one thing Dallas has done tonight, they have matched the energy that Phoenix has shown in the previous games.
Well, I thought Phoenix the other night, when that game was on the line, their will was just so vastly superior to Dallas's. Tonight, that has not been the case. See again, they're making him shoot the ball, Kevin. I hate to sound like a broken record, but they're not going to let Amari Stoudemire catch the ball and dunk the ball. He had 5 dunks in the second quarter the other night.
Another offensive rebound, and Howard could not slam it in. Here comes Jackson, 3-on-2. Sean Marion with the floater. And here comes Jason Terry. Josh Howard.
Well, you knew this was going to be a tough game for Phoenix tonight. After all the minutes on Friday night, as sensational as they played, they dug themselves a 17-point hole. Still a lot of time left to be played, but right now, Dallas has more energy. They're taking the ball to the basket with aggression, not settling for jump shots. Kevin, the other night, 1 of 18 from 3. They fell in love with the jumper. Tonight, that has not been the case. They are going strong to the basket. 30 points in the paint of their 56 points.
Stackhouse comes in for Howard, and Howard just picked up his foul. Nowitzki is back in there, and Marion beats him to the rack with a beautiful inbound pass.
So for Phoenix right now, you'd like to have a nice little surge in this half. Maybe get this thing within 8 or 10 if you could.
Finley to Dampier. Right into Stoudemire, who picks up a foul. And a Amari Stoudemire is tagged with the first. You don't see him foul all that much inside.
Well, you're seeing a little frustration on his face, too. The game has been so easy for him the first 3 games of this series. He's had whatever he wanted, he's been able to do. Tonight, they are running him at all angles. They're not giving him those little easy baskets. They're trying to keep him away from those powerful moves around the basket. And Dampier is keeping him active inside. He's 4 of 4 from the floor for 8 points, and he has 8 rebounds. And you can see what he did in the one win. He played 27 minutes. In the 2 losses, only 15 points, 12 rebounds in the win, averaging 2 points and 4 rebounds in the losses. And Avery Johnson basically told him, I'm not taking you out tonight. You're getting foul trouble. You're going to play through it. So don't use that as an excuse to come over and sit down.
Suns are shooting 46%, led by the 10 points of Steve Nash. Pass inside. Jackson caught it. And the assist came from Amari Stoudemire on top.
Phoenix is so explosive. They're averaging in the playoffs, Kevin, 115 points a game. So Dallas better not get careless here to end this half.
56% shooting for the Dallas Mavericks. Dampier is 4 of 4. Oh, what a play. Right across the lane. 10 points and 8 rebounds for Eric Dampier as Marion hits Stoudemire. And into Dampier, picks up the foul for Dallas. Second on Dampier. Dallas has come out playing terrific basketball tonight in this Game 4 in the best of 7 Western Conference semifinals on TNT.
Now Stockton on Finley again. 10 on the shot clock. 15 seconds in the game. And in the season for one of these teams. Inside Calvin Booth. And the Mavs take the lead with 9.6 seconds to go.
The call by Bob Neal, and that was another spectacular finish presented by Armor All Whites. Yep, they were teammates. Nash and Nowitzki were the best of friends. 4 playoff appearances, and those 2 kind of drove the Mavericks into the national consciousness with their terrific performances.
Well, that really was the start of their playoff success, winning that series, and that shot made Calvin Booth about $40 million. So that was a big play in a lot of different ways.
Doug, Phoenix in these playoffs, as Stoudemire is at the line after that break. 48% in the first 3 games shooting threes. Tonight, 22%.
Well, they haven't got many open looks. Again, you have to be disciplined. When Nash drives into the lane, you've got to stay with Stoudemire, and you've got to stay with three-point shooters, and you must make Steve Nash try to beat you. You cannot let him get 27 points and also 17 assists that led to 30 points. 6 threes his assists led to the other night.
This is a left-handed shot by Finley across the lane, and Stoudemire was defending. He picks up foul number 2. So Finley will be at the free throw line. Dallas tonight, 7 of 9 from the stripe as we swing it over to our TNT studios and Ernie Johnson.
Yeah, thank you, Kev. Coming up at halftime, Charles and Kenny and Magic will be here with their breakdown of the first half, and Eric Dampier certainly has been a focal point in this series. Why are folks talking about Eric Dampier, folks like Shaq? And what is Eric Dampier's response? We'll fill you in at halftime.
And of course, Ernie says that because at one time, Dampier said earlier this season he's the second best center in the NBA in back of Shaq.
Well, tonight he's having an effect on this game like he did in Game 2. Games 1 and 3, he was outscored 77-4 by Amari Stoudemire.
Steve Nash and Dampier is on him. Shot clock is at 7. Barbosa surprisingly open. I think he hits just a second. Marion tries to clean it up. Stackhouse fights and retrieves the loose ball. And Dallas is plus 10 in rebounding. Dirk Nowitzki. Nowitzki's got a game-high of 15. Nowitzki knocks it away from his former teammate Nash. 2-on-1, Terry and Stackhouse. Barbosa the foul. And Terry comes over there thinking that was a little bit tough. That's the second call on Leandro Barbosa.
Well, remember, Jerry Stackhouse is the one that had the block on Joe Johnson where the flagrant foul was called, and it led to the surgery and Joe Johnson being out, the Phoenix Suns have all said that they saw the play. There was not a flagrant foul, nor was there any attempt for Jerry Stackhouse to try to hurt Joe Johnson.
Flagrant foul one right there, Doug.
You can see Barbosa laying out Jerry Stackhouse. It looked like his left leg when he came down. Watch this, he comes down very awkwardly on that left leg. He's wearing some kind of tights today with, looks like some knee wraps around. He's had some tendonitis. So.
I think the last person I saw wear that was Hakeem Olajuwon when he had the blood issues in his leg, the blood circulation issues in his leg. And other players have, but Olajuwon used to wear them on both legs. And I don't know if that's what Stackhouse has him on for tonight, but there they are. Doug, you referred to that Joe Johnson Stackhouse collision in game 2.
Well, Jerry Stackhouse goes up to block the ball. One of the things that happened on that, Joe Johnson took off on his right leg. Normally you take off on the left leg, and when he did, he exposed himself. Stackhouse went strong for the block. Unfortunately, Joe Johnson caught the rim and flipped himself, and that's where he got hurt. But Jerry Stackhouse and the Mavericks have all been very concerned about Joe Johnson and the subsequent surgery that he had to have.
Dallas is on a 6-0 run. Stackhouse. And picked up by Sean Marion, who collects his 7th rebound. And that's pickpocketed at the other end by Jason Terry. They got numbers of 4-on-3. Nowitzki again.
Boy, the defense by Dallas tonight has been terrific. Avery Johnson has to be very pleased, Kevin, the way he drew this up tonight, the way he wanted his team to defend Nash. They've done a good job of it. They've taken out the three-point shooting, and Amari Stoudemire has really been a non-factor inside other than his free throws.
No fouls to give either way. Dallas plus 15 in fast break points, and finally Nash gets one to go down. He's got a Phoenix high 13 with that 3, 17 by Nowitzki, leading all scorers in the game.
In the playoffs, Steve Nash only 8 of 26 from 3, so he's not been shooting the 3 well. Really, that's the only area that he's not been terrific.
Nash in the regular season from three-point territory, 43% for Phoenix. Jason Terry. That's out of bounds, and there'll be 6 and 4/10 seconds with which to work for the Phoenix offense. Every time that Avery Johnson in the playoffs against Houston in round 1 and Phoenix in round 2 has come up with an answer. Here's Barbosa trying to beat the buzzer with the pass to Marion, and it was away. Should count. It does. They'll probably review, but it looked like Marion did beat the buzzer and brings his Suns to within 16 points at halftime.
Well, 5 quick points to end that half for the Phoenix Suns. The 3 by Nash, the 2 there by Sean Marion. So they clawed themselves back down to only 16. And when you look at the numbers, Sean Marion did have 5 field goals for 10, but Stoudemire only 2 field goals, got to the line 8 times, has 11. Steve Nash has 13 points, but 5 turnovers in the game and only 4 assists.
And Josh Howard has played a spectacular first half in 20 minutes. Cheryl, 14 points and 9 rebounds as we send it over to you.
Well, Josh, that certainly has to be the team's best first half offensively. Good ball movement, but better yet, you guys were offensively very creative on the offensive glass.
I just think it's guys just filling in their spots and hitting down the open shot.
Talk about the defense, especially in the pick and roll situations on Stoudemire and Nash, much differently tonight.
We're just staying aggressive. Every guy's chipped in on the defensive end, and we just want to continue to stay aggressive.
Josh, you're looking at the tempo in the first half. Would you like to continue it in the second?
We would love to. Hopefully we can pull it out.
All right, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
All right, EJ, the Dallas Mavericks up by 16, trying to tie up this series and send it back to you in our Atlanta studios.
All right, thank you very much, Cher. A couple of late buckets there, pulling the Suns within 16, 66-50, as we welcome you to the Verizon Wireless halftime report from Studio A in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, the Hall of Famer Magic Johnson, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. And I'm telling you, folks, that has been some end-to-end action. I mean, I'm working up a pretty good sweat. Oh.
You got a lot of forehead to Bat Town, too.
That's the real Jets thing. You want to wear that for a while?
I'll wear that for a while.
Jason Eugene Terry.
No, this is the real Jet.
The real Jet. Well, you never had one of those when you played with the Jet.
Well, the Jet hasn't been a Jet because he's only got 2 points.
Yeah, but Dallas is playing a great first half here. You agreed?
They are playing fantastic. You know, people ask me why I picked Dallas at the start of this series because, number one, Phoenix got 2 weaknesses. Number one, they can never get stops. And number 2, they can't rebound. You can rebound against them because they're guys. Number one, they play small, but they're always leaking out. And I just thought over a 7-game series, that Dallas had more depth. But I don't think you can win a 7-game series against a good team by just outscoring them. Because there's going to be nights where you can't make shots and you got to get stops. But that offensive rebound, they're getting murdered on the boards. And that's their biggest weakness more than anything, defensive rebounding. But they got to get stops. I would love to see them win this series, but I think Dallas is going to win the series.
Meantime, Kenny is making the fashion statement now with your jet, and that's a very strong look.
Oh, yeah, you got to keep the frozen arm on the same thing. You can't have it on one hand.
You got some Kenny's picks for us here?
Yeah, I do. You know, one of the things that everyone's talking about Joe Johnson's injury and how many points he scores and what he does. But I think he brings to Phoenix the magic number. And the magic number is 14 on the shot clock. When it goes under 14, I think Phoenix shoots probably 30%. When they take a shot over 14, that means that that's the shot they want. See here, the shot clock's down to 12. This all game has been consistent. And Joe Johnson becomes that extra ball handler, so you don't have to keep continually moving the ball because he's breaking you down off the dribble just like Steve Nash. Lose it again. So when Steve Nash is getting pressure, he just throws it up to Joe Johnson. Joe Johnson would just dribble it up and make a play. But here with Jim Jackson and Barbosa, these guys are uncomfortable making it, so now he's got to bring it back out. You're under 14, the magic number, and now you have a tough shot, hands in your face, everyone's up, you can't make it. They shoot shots over 14. That's normally teams wouldn't do that. That's a bad shot. But for them, it's great shots when they're shooting with 20 seconds on.
Rarely see that shot clock down at 4, 3, and 2 when they're launching jumpers when it's the Phoenix Suns. Magic.
Well, it's the same thing I said earlier. I said what team was going to get penetration. That's who was going to win the game. Dallas is getting all the penetration. They're getting shots down 10 feet or 5 feet close to the basket. And then that allowed Eric Dampier to get into the game because his first couple of shots were offensive rebounds where he can get it and dunk it. And then once he got feeling good about himself, that's when he turned and shot a couple of hook shots to get himself more involved in the game. So I think that was really helped Eric Dampier and the Dallas Mavericks at the fact that they were getting so much penetration and offensive rebounds at the same time. And then I thought Avery Johnson did a wonderful job of keeping Steve Nash out of the paint. If you keep Steve Nash out of the paint, that means Phoenix must turn into a jump shot shooting team, and then you can take advantage of that.
25-16 rebounding advantage for the Dallas Mavericks, 10 offensive boards for Dallas, and they lead at the break 66-50, trying to tie this series up with the Phoenix Suns. Here's a look at what's coming up later this week. We have tomorrow night off because of the Miami sweep. There are no games tomorrow night. Pacers, Pistons, Sonics, Spurs, couple of Game 5s on Tuesday nights starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Single game Wednesday. Same teams you're watching right now, the Mavs and Suns from the desert on Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern Time.
The Halftime Report is brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
Can you hear me now? Good.
Welcome back to the Verizon Wireless Halftime Report. Eric Dampier has been in the middle of a lot of stuff here in the postseason, especially in this series with Dirk Nowitzki calling him out after one game and saying we got to get more from him. He's getting in foul trouble, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And even guys who aren't involved in this series have brought up Eric Dampier's name. I don't know if you caught this. If you did, you'll want to hear it again. If you didn't, Shaquille O'Neal.
And I know one day I'm going to wake up and it's not going to be there. When that day comes, whoever we're playing, they're going to be in trouble because I'm tough. I'm playing like Eric Dampier, so I'm tough.
I know during the game, players are frustrated at one another. You know, and I can see Dirk, see why he did that, why Shaq is doing it. I really don't know. Maybe he just has me on his mind. That's the only thing that I can think of.
Shaq's had him on his mind before. They've both been thinking about each other from their old Western Conference days together.
Right. Shaq is always going to pick on Eric Dampier because they had a little tussle here and there. And then, my main thing with Eric is the fact that you have got to set the tone inside for Dallas. If you set the tone, just like tonight, he has set the tone. First of all, he's blocked a couple shots. He's got a couple offensive rebounds, and he's really playing tough. To me, sometimes he play 5'10" instead of 6'10". And you got to continue. Tonight, he's playing like he's 6'10" and tough. And if he does that, Dallas can win this series.
10 points, 8 rebounds on the night for Damp this time around.
Just the key is Phoenix is going to have to learn to make stops. That's what it's all going to come down to, and they got to do a better job on the defensive board. I love the team. They've had a great season, but I think the lack of defense and the offensive rebounding is going to get them beat this series.
Well, if you think it's Sunday night and you got school tomorrow, you got to work tomorrow, and it's time to cut off the TV, you're bugging out, because Phoenix is going to be back in this game, because this is the way they play. So this game is not over.
A very nice promo for the second half, provided by the Jet.
Jet.
Yeah, you're frozen wrist tonight, man. And there he is. Speaking of the devil, feeding Dirk Nowitzki.
That's part due.
The Halftime Report has been brought to you by Verizon Wireless, the official wireless provider of the NBA.
To 1, 16 with Doug Collins, Kevin Harlan. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Dallas efficient, Doug, in virtually every category.
Well, they're shooting 57% from the floor. Eric Dampier, 10 points, 8 rebounds. He's 5 of 5. How about Nowitzki, 17 points and only 9 shots. 17 fast break points to 2. So Dallas, energy, they got in the lane. They penetrated. They got on the offensive boards. Phoenix was not able to get into the running game. Only 3 3-point field goals. And it really hurt them when Quentin Richardson got in foul trouble and had to sit out the last 8 minutes, really, of that first half. But you can see they're just building a wall with Amari Stoudemire, forcing him to give the ball up. He only got 5 shot attempts. Eric Dampier, very powerful on those offensive boards tonight, had 3 offensive rebounds for 6 points. Josh Howard, 5 offensive rebounds in the game. He had 14 points. Dirk Nowitzki again, only 9 shots but 17 points. And you look at the numbers, the Mavericks, their shooting was terrific, even at the 3-point line. If they can do that, they're going to be in great shape. The fast break points, second chance points, points in the paint, everything went the Mavericks' way in the first half. But you know what? Kenny Smith said something at halftime, and I agree. This is the Phoenix team that you better not go to sleep on them. They're very, very capable of having a big spurt against you. They had those 5 quick points to end the half to sort of get back in the game.
And that was our Dodge game summary. And you take a look at the shot clock tonight, which has been so interesting because about 87% of what Phoenix does comes before the shot clock reaches 9 seconds. Here's what they've done tonight, Doug, in terms of the shot clock.
Well, it just sort of follow up what Kenny Smith says, but rather than at the 14-second mark, we've bring it down to 8-second increments. And when you get down to under 8 seconds, they only have 10 points. 40 of their 50 points have come early in the clock. That's when they look for their shots. And that's when Nash has to create, and that's also where you miss Joe Johnson, a guy who can make shots and create shots against that clock.
So we start this third quarter with Terry, Finley, Nowitzki. There's Howard with the ball. And Dampier is the 5th Maverick on the floor starting. There's a nice pass inside. Dampier finally finds the handle. Taken away. Richardson sands the headband, is out there with Nash, Jackson, Stoudemire, and Sean Marion. It's Nash for 3. He has taken the most shots from the field tonight for the Phoenix Suns.
That's by design by Dallas. They do not want him getting others involved.
Josh Howard picked up by Nash.
5-second count.
Inside. Doug, are we seeing as many cross matches tonight that we've seen the first couple games of the series?
Yeah, we are. And Dallas has done a good job really taking advantage of in the offensive boards. That's why they've been able to do that. They found smaller guys and gone to the boards, got second chance points. And that's really the difference in the game right now is the rebounding.
So trying to weather their largest halftime deficit of the season, as you just saw. Phoenix with it. Here's Sean Marion. He's got 10. And across the lane with a Dampier rebound. He's now collected 9 rebounds with his 10 points for Dallas. Finley, good fake by Jackson. Nash with the rebound.
Just the presence of Dampier inside forced Sean Marion to take a tough shot.
Nash again. And he hits right there. He's taken 12 shots. He's hit 7. He's got a Phoenix high 15. Nowitzki's 17, leading all scores, and that's the run the Suns are on right now. Shot clock is down to 4 for Dampier against Richardson. He's making it look easy tonight.
Well, when they slow the game down a little bit, too, they can throw the ball in the post. You heard Magic talk about it. They get Dampier involved in the game. There's a jumper that does not go for Amari Stoudemire, now 2 of 6 from the floor tonight.
Nash into Howard. Out of bounds and off of Howard. Cheryl Miller, what do you have?
Well, Kevin and Doug, Coach D'Antoni not happy with his team's performance in the first half. He said, you know what? We approached this game like it would be a walk in the park. We played with no energy, and Dallas came up with all the hustle plays. Second half, we need to see a greater urgency, guys.
Third foul on Dampier.
Well, you know, I think, Cheryl, just to follow up on that, you know, sometimes you got to fight human nature. You come in here, you win the game Friday night, a sensational closeout. You finish that game on a 22-6 run. You win to take the home court back, and you got to fight human nature about saying you're back in the driver's seat once again because you have the home court advantage. Both of these teams can win on the road. Kevin, they've played 5 times in the regular season and the playoffs combined. The home team has only won 1 game. That's Phoenix in the first game of the playoffs.
Nash. Stoudemire trying to be the lead blocker down low, and Dampier picks up a foul. He gets hit with his 4th, and you said it back in the first half, something that Avery Johnson relayed to us before the game. He's going to play until he fouls out of the game.
Well, let's see what happens here now with Dampier getting his 4th foul. See if Stackhouse comes in the game. He will. He'll replace Dampier. This is where Dampier has got to stay away from those fouls. He's having a good game. Don't pick up those fouls and go over and sit down. Those are little touch fouls. You got to stay on the floor for your team.
Nash again.
Let's see now if the Phoenix Suns can take advantage of the fact now that there's no size on the floor.
Oh, good shot by
Dallas Mavericks. They've gone small now. Dirk Nowitzki is at the 5 spot. All of a sudden now some second shots have a chance to go. The three-pointers start to go. Suns are on a 10-0 run, and they're quietly working themselves back into this game.
And they lead the series 2-1 over the Dallas Mavericks as you're watching the NBA playoffs on TNT. Leading by 13 early second half. Time now for the Around the Gatorade Cooler Report with our Hall of Famer Cheryl Miller.
Just to follow up something you said about fighting against human nature, Jimmy Jackson said he was a part of the 98-99 Portland team that lost to San Antonio in the Western Conference Final. He said, you know what, after the loss, I thought, it's okay, we'll get it next year. It never happened. Then I was with Sacramento. We had a chance to advance, and then Chris Webber goes down with an injury. So I tell these young guys, yes, we're young. Yes, we're up and coming, but an injury or two or a key trade could change our destination. Let's stay focused, guys.
Well, just to follow up that, Cheryl, Joe Johnson gets hurt. I mean, that puts him in a real bind in this series right now because they basically really are not playing their bench. Barbosa played about 12 minutes. Walter McCarty 3, Stephen Hunter 2. So as this series goes on, you see the wristband there of Jimmy Jackson. There's 2 JJs on this team, but that's JJ2 for Joe Johnson back in Phoenix. But how series change. How about Seattle today? Would you have ever, in your wildest imagination, thought that without Rashard Lewis and Radmanovich, that they would handle the Spurs the way they did today?
Pretty shocking.
I mean, it's amazing. That's why you got to come. Every playoff game is a separate entity. You can't look at it in the big picture. Today is the moment right now. This is what counts.
Neither team made a change out of that break. This is Dirk Nowitzki with the rebound by Amari Stoudemire. He has just his 3rd rebound tonight with 11 points.
Let's see now with no big body in that lane that the Suns can take advantage of. With Dampier being out, it's a small lineup.
Dampier on the bench with the 4. Fouls, and here is a miss by Marion. And a 4-on-2 the other way. Finley to Dirk Nowitzki. Stackhouse got a Howard screen. And that kept the defense from rushing him.
What's amazing, Jerry Stackhouse shooting much better from the 3 than he is from the field in the playoffs.
Oh, nice pass, Nash to Marion. A quick rejection inside. What a terrific defensive play. And Stackhouse got up there and got a hand on the ball. And he picks up the foul, and the process is 2nd.
Well, this is terrific weak side rotation by Jerry Stackhouse. Jerry goes up strong to try to get a piece of that shot. They ruled a foul. Jerry was very unhappy at the end of that play. That's why you got to go to the basket strong. Put the onus on the officials to blow that whistle. And Marion steps up and misses the free throw.
You know, it's interesting when you watch Marion's shot, whether he's at the line or in the field. He has one of the strangest shots in the NBA.
Well, he's perfected it. I mean, he's got that little flip. He's got nice rotation on the shot. And boy, he shot great the other night. He had 5 of 7 from the three-point line. Critical when late as they made that push to finish the game and to go up 2-1 in this series.
Dallas is shooting 55% from the field. Switch on defense. Terry now picked up by Marion. And Howard left open. Is there confusion on the part of the defensive assignment for Phoenix?
No, they just switched that screen roll. They felt like that Nash could play against Dirk Nowitzki on that play. So there'll be a foul, I think, on Jerry Stackhouse in the post against Stoudemire. See, they're going small right now. They're going to let Stackhouse play him. They'll try to let Finley play him a little bit. Howard is going to stay on Nash. They're going to use a quicker guy against Stoudemire, but they use that body that they have of Dan Peer being in the game, that big body that was so effective in the first half.
Dallas already has 14 fouls. Phoenix none. Nash. He's been fading away a lot. He was fouled by Josh Howard. Better watch out. He's very animated, and he got teed up.
Josh Howard has got to control his emotions. We've seen that throughout the playoffs with him.
That's the third on Howard.
You want to make sure you channel it in the right direction. He's going to fade away on this shot, Nash. Let's see if he hits him on the elbow. It looks like he hit him right on the elbow.
Nash has just hit the technical free throw.
It's a big play. 3 free throws for Steve Nash. You know, all of a sudden you work yourself right back into this game.
So Dan Peer has 4 fouls. He is on the bench. 3 on Howard, 3 on Stackhouse. And no one with 4 on the Suns. Richardson's got 3 for Phoenix. As Nash, one of the great free throw shooters in the NBA, is at the line, and a look at Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson's talking about this. We have 5 team fouls. They have none to start this period. But you know what? Phoenix has come out being the aggressor in this third quarter. That's what happens. When you start taking the ball to the basket, you will get those whistles. In the first half, it was Dallas.
Nowitzki screen. Now the switch. They got Marion on Terry, and there's the Nash and Nowitzki matchup, and a great pass by Nowitzki inside as he hits Josh Howard.
Oh, great cut and wonderful pass. An offensive foul on Stoudemire.
He's got 3, Doug.
You know what? He's never gotten in sync tonight. Dallas has frustrated him. We haven't seen any of those powerful dunks or those finishes around the basket. And you can see he's frustrated. This is still the part of being a young player. He's so talented and playing such great basketball. Maintain your composure. You see Steve Nash talking to him. Just stay in the game. Good things will happen.
Nowitzki a screen for Terry. And a rebound by Jim Jackson. It's Nash and Finley guarding him. Nash, oh, what a beautiful finger roll by Steve Nash, who's got a game-high 20 points, 8 of 14. Phoenix is now shooting 45%. It looked like Sean Marion got a little too pushy on the play, and that's the first on Sean Marion.
Now watch when Stoudemire rolls. Nowitzki is going to try to stay with him and not worry so much about Steve Nash. Again, Nash has taken 14 shots. He has 20 points, but he only has 3 assists. In Game 3, he had 17 assists to go with 27 points. So they're going to make him throw up big numbers scoring-wise to try to keep everybody else out of the game.
Josh Howard right by Amari Stoudemire. The Mavericks have led by as many as 21. The Suns have led by as many as 4. That's a 3-point bomb nailed by Steve Nash. 10 of the Suns' 14 third-quarter points authored by Steve Nash.
See, all the screen rolls are running out right now with Jason Terry. They did not run that many in Game 3. Avery Johnson says we're a team that runs like about 50 screen rolls a game. We did not do that in Game 3. Here's Nash once again. He's putting on his best imitation of one of my favorite players of all time, Pistol Pete Maravich, when he used to throw big numbers.
I think Nash doesn't feel comfortable on this floor. Played for the Dallas Mavericks, and they're in the gigantic contract offer from Phoenix in the offseason. Terry finding an open Stackhouse for 3. Marion with the rebound. Josh Howard. And a foul. Sean Marion.
Josh Howard has been all over this floor tonight. Offensive rebounding. Getting in past Mike D'Antoni's going to get a technical foul here. Very upset. He's trying to get his team fired up. Mike, normally a very mild-mannered guy.
He is.
He was upset the previous possession because he thought that after Dallas scored, they touched the ball to prevent Phoenix from being able to run out. You're not allowed to touch the basketball, so he had a running conversation with Joe DeRosa before this steal that occurred and got Sean Marion's foul.
Nowitzki is 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Dallas has attempted 14 free throws, made 12. The Phoenix Suns have attempted 17 free throws and made 13.
Well, remember now, in the third game the other night, Dallas, after making 21 free throws out of 23 in the first half, only shot 2 the entire second half, none in the fourth quarter.
That's shocking. No free throw attempts in the fourth as Howard hits it. But again, we got to go back to something, Doug, that you said in the very first game of this series, and it was a great note that the Phoenix Suns commit the fewest fouls of any team in the NBA.
It's a big part of their running game. They'd rather give you a basket sometimes and stop the game with a foul.
Nash with a Stoudemire screen. He's having one of those nights. He's got 27 points. Michael Finley double team. Phoenix has hit 5 of 13 3-point shots. There's a little pick and roll, screen and roll, and it was dropped by Stoudemire. They call it jump ball on the hustle of Josh Howard.
But you can see all the congestion in there. 3 guys were around Amari Stoudemire. The one thing you have to do if you're Dallas is stick to your principles. Look at this congestion in there. No way that Amari Stoudemire is going to be able to get to the basket. But Dallas has made a commitment to make Nash score a ton of points. If he continues to stay hot, they can't then try to cool him down and get others involved. They have to make sure that they stay with their philosophy and make him have a big game and try to limit Stoudemire, Sean Marion, Quentin Richardson, and the rest of this team. So what gets you in trouble, Kevin, you say, oh, we better stop Nash, and now all of a sudden then he gets everybody else involved.
Nash has the Suns' last 12 points. Phoenix gets it. Shot clock at 7 for Richardson and 3. Quentin Richardson, who took and made more three-point shots than any player this season in the NBA in historic numbers. 1 of 5 from three-point territory.
He's never got in rhythm tonight. He picked up that third foul about the 8-minute mark of the second quarter, had to sit out the entire quarter. Never has gotten in rhythm tonight. Actually walked up and even missed 2 free throws as well.
Armstrong for Terry for Dallas, and inside Nowitzki. And that is a foul, and it's on Dirk Nowitzki. That's the second on Dirk. You're watching Game 4 of the Western Conference semifinals. Phoenix leading 2-1. In this game, the Mavericks have led by 21. Phoenix picking up some momentum in the second half. A game-high 27 points in 29 minutes by that guy right there, the MVP of the NBA, Steve Nash.
Armstrong in the game tried to put a speed merchant on him, and that's not going to work either. Nash just walks right into the lane. Again, he makes the game look so easy. He keeps your defender off balance. And he just does that deception. Go right, go left. There's another turnover, and Phoenix is quietly working themselves back in the game, Kevin. They get a 3 here. It's a 10-point game, and you still have over 16 minutes to go, and Phoenix can score points in bunches.
And 7 lead changes and 6 ties early in the game. Nash with Armstrong defending, and Nash picks up the personal foul. Steve Nash now has 2.
That's why Armstrong is in there, to try to pressure him. Steve Nash, a little hesitation. He thinks he's going to be able to then beat him with that left hand, and Armstrong right there, perfect defensive position to take the charge.
Armstrong slips it into Howard, and a foul in front of for 2. And Jimmy Jackson picks up the Phoenix foul. And Josh Howard, Doug, has 23 points, a playoff career high.
This is sort of a page out of the Suns book. Look at this little high screen roll action, the little Nash-like bounce pass. And little hang in the get the foul. And Josh Howard, look at his numbers. 23 points on 16 field goal attempts, 9 rebounds, 5 of those on the offensive boards. See, he's worked himself to a good game with energy. This is the way he needs to play. Doesn't have to be a primary offensive player, Kevin. Play off the strengths of the rest of the team, and that's where he really helped the Mavs.
Barbosa is in the game. And that one is number 13 for the Phoenix Suns. Nash with the turnover. Stackhouse, Armstrong, Howard, Michael Finley, Nowitzki, the Dallas 5. Stackhouse around the Howard screen. It's Richardson and Nash fighting for the loose ball with Barbosa, Marion, and Stoudemire on the Phoenix 4.
You see Armstrong, no pressure, and Steve Nash, 94 feet. And what'll happen, they'll bring a bigger defender on him then to try to use some strength against him. Look at this.
Nash again. How easy can it get for Steve Nash?
But see, they don't want him to kick out to the three-point shooters. That's their whole game plan right now, is take away his assists and make him score big.
Nash has 31 in 31. Armstrong for 3. Barbosa has it. A quick releasing Sean Marion at the other end.
Avery Johnson's going to want to take a timeout. Down to 11. Long shots mean long rebounds. He's actually waved the timeout off.
Dallas led by 21 points in the first half. Led by 16 at halftime. Armstrong is down. That is a foul. Steve Nash has tied a playoff career high with 31 points.
Well, Steve Nash left, Steve Nash right. He's had it all his way tonight in terms of scoring. Sean Marion out there with a powerful finish. They've cut it to 11. They'd like to get this to single digits going into the fourth quarter. Well, Steve Nash has been terrific in this quarter. Talk about the little jump shot he pulls up and knocks down off the screen roll. Gets in the lane, the little flipper over the right shoulder. Once again, the little step back jump shot. He has 18 of the Suns' 24 third quarter points. And you can see the philosophy. Kevin, I'm going to show you on the telestrator exactly what they're doing. Here's Nowitzki. And on this screen roll as Nash comes in here, they're going to be worried about three-point shooters. They don't want to help. And they're basically saying, you know what? Nash, you get in the lane. We're going to take away the dunk from Stoudemire. Said they're not going to let him drop the ball. If you lay it in, no threes from these guys. And we think that in the long run, we'll be able to beat you because Steve Nash inherently wants to pass the basketball. He does not want to shoot the basketball 25 times. Tonight he has 19 shots, Stoudemire only 6.
Wow. That is so counter to what we've seen. Here's Michael Finley with 10 on the shot clock and a well-designed Avery Johnson play coming out of that break. Jackson is in for Richardson. That was the lone change for Phoenix. Nash finds the aforementioned Jimmy Jackson for 3. Stoudemire looking for the rebound. Just on a side note, since Dampier has been out, and at that time the lead was 16 for Dallas, the lead now cut to was 11 points. Now it's back up to 13. But Dampier picked up his 4th foul, and that has changed the feeling of what Dallas can do defensively and certainly on offense.
Well, it's interesting, but this is really the first time that Nowitzki has played against Stoudemire. Normally he does not guard him, so now with Dampier being out, rather than put a smaller guy on, they put Nowitzki on him, and he does have a body big enough to try to help keep him out of the lane a little bit.
And Marquise Daniels is in the game. And that was a foul, and it's inside. Looks like Stoudemire has picked up his 4th personal foul. I can't recall a game in the playoffs where he has been in foul problems.
Well, normally the Phoenix Suns don't foul. We've talked about that, and they know that especially being short-handed, they cannot get in foul trouble. Mary Stoudemire now with 4. We're going to see what happens here. Looks like Walter McCarty will come into the game for the last 2:20. And can the Suns stay close enough so in the fourth quarter when Stoudemire comes back that it will make a difference?
Marquise Daniels at the free throw line. A look at Stoudemire, who was the 9th overall pick. That was a surprise to some that he fell so far in the draft because he was maybe the top-rated player.
Well, it's interesting because the year before was the year of the high school player. That was Kwame Brown, Tyson Chandler, Eddie Curry, DeJohn Diop. And most of those players struggled their first year. And I think one of the reasons why he slipped down was because of that. And as well, he hurt his shoulder and really didn't work out for a lot of teams other than the Phoenix Suns.
Nash Rebound by Dirk Nowitzki. He has corralled 4 rebounds tonight. He takes it to length and a foul. Little shove.
Going to be an offensive foul on Dirk Nowitzki as he pushed off Walter McCarty. Watch his right arm. If it gets away from him, that's a little bit of a touch foul, but a smart play by Walter McCarty to get in there and flop a little bit. Mark Cuban sure doesn't like it.
What Avery Johnson say in the Dallas Morning News today? He said he's the least respected MVP caliber that there is right now in the NBA. He doesn't get any calls. He used the words least respected of all.
Well, you know, but he was frustrated because he didn't get to the foul line the other night in the fourth quarter. There it is.
There's a foul.
See, now they got to change their defense here a little bit. With Stoudemire not in the game, you can play the screen roll a little differently. See, this is Walter McCarty. You don't have to be so concerned about him as you are with Stoudemire. So now you've got to be able to go at Nash, trap him, make him throw that ball back to Walter McCarty, maybe make him shoot a three-point shot.
Finley picked up his second foul. Three-point play converted by Nash, who has put in a fantastic 21 points of his 34 in this third quarter.
And the Suns are hanging around. Stoudemire's on the bench with fouls. Can they get this into single digits?
Michael Finley picked up by Barbosa. Daniels trying to swoop in, and a foul on Jimmy Jackson, who is assessed his third foul.
See, that's what happens when you have to try to go over and give help. You had a defender go over to try to help out on Michael Finley. Now you've got one Phoenix Suns guy trying to block 2 Dallas Mavericks off the offensive boards.
Free throw shooting has been basically the same. But tonight now, Dallas 15 of 20. Suns 14 of 18.
The Mavericks in the season go 28 times to the line during the regular season. Here's a turnover. That's Steve Nash's 8th turnover of the game. He only has 3 assists.
Dallas is shooting 55%. They go inside, Stackhouse to Daniels to Stackhouse. And he had it picked up by Steve Nash on the pickpocket. Nice knock away by Terry with the deflection, but right to Walter McCarty. Phoenix is at 49% from the floor for the game. Nash again. Steve Nash has put in a game-high 36 in 33 minutes.
And he's keeping his team in the game, Kevin. Can they help him in the finish of the fourth quarter?
He's doing everything he can do. And there's an interception by Marion. 3-on-3 the other way. Barbosa. No fouls to give either way in the final 39 seconds of the third quarter. Nowitzki on Nash. Daniels on Barbosa.
Very flat shot there. That one had no chance to get in. About 5-second differential here, so Phoenix should get the last shot of the quarter unless they give up an offensive rebound.
Dallas, speaking of that, Dallas leads in rebounding overall by 5. Four-second difference. Game clock, shot clock. Counter! Dirk Nowitzki fouled by Walter McCarty.
This has been his best offensive game in terms of efficiency. 11 field goal attempts, knocks this one down, gets fouled, 20 points, going for 21. So what kind of efficiency, boy, Kevin? 11 field goal attempts, 4 from the line, 4 rebounds, 3 assists.
That's his first field goal, Doug, of this third quarter. But doing other things, you talked about his efficiency of his game.
Absolutely, shooting a very high percentage, which I think is very key to his game. Nash says no,
Sure doesn't.
Boy, you don't see him make that mistake very often. Remember in game 2, we saw him get a backcourt violation, 8 seconds with nobody guarding him. That time, lost sight of the shot clock. Steve Nash was brilliant in that third quarter.
Will Phoenix go up 3 games to 1? Will Dallas tie the series at 2 apiece? You're watching Game 4, Western Conference semifinals on TNT. Dallas by 14 at the end of 3. They led by 16 points, Doug, at halftime. So Dampier picks up his foul with about 9.5 remaining. He's gone. Nash scores this 23-point third quarter, and all Phoenix can do is make up 2 points.
Well, the efficiency of Dallas are shooting 56%, so they're going to have to get some defensive stops if they're going to have a chance to win this game, Kevin. Now it's going to be interesting because Steve Nash is going to rest. So how long can he sit over there before Mike D'Antoni has to bring him back? So this group now that's on the floor, you look at Sean Marion, Barbosa, Jimmy Jackson, Stoudemire, and Quentin Richardson. They have to give them a nice couple minutes here so that Steve Nash can come back in and give them a chance to win the game.
Doug just told you who's out there for Phoenix. Terry, Stackhouse, Finley, Marquise Daniels, and Nowitzki for Dallas. That gives you our lineups for the final 11:44 of regulation.
Look at that, 3 guys over on Stoudemire, forcing him to pass the basketball.
It's Jimmy Jackson just bulldozing his way in, willing his way for 2.
Where did that come from, Jimmy?
Barbosa guards Jason Terry. Terry tonight only 2 of 7 and 4 points, and they were expecting a bigger game out of him.
Yeah, but his floor game has been good, Kevin. He has 7 assists, has 3 steals. So he's not shooting the ball a lot, but he's had a good floor game.
Shot clock at 2. Nowitzki's got a fire over Jackson. Rebound by Richardson.
Basket here really tightens things up.
Jimmy Jackson. Nowitzki got on him on defense. Stackhouse, Michael Finley. Daniels is open for 2.
Well run fast break. Move the basketball, get a wide open 15-footer. Marquise Daniels done a nice job off the bench today. 9 points, 3 of 3 from the floor.
Go inside to the double team. Stoudemire, who's been a straight jacket all night long, covered with one Dallas defender after another. And against, just to show you the kind of drought that he has experienced, Stoudemire gets his first field goal since the 7:03 mark in the second quarter.
They are committed to not letting him score a field goal. They're going to make him make free throws. That one's sort of an over-to-the-shoulder shot. I don't think we've seen a dunk from him today.
No.
They've kept him away from that rim.
Good call.
He had 8 dunks in game 3.
How about that graphic we put up earlier in the game about how many points he gets with layups, dunks, and free throws? I mean, the majority of his points in this series have come in those 3 areas as he watched Nowitzki pick up his 4th foul, and Stoudemire completes the 3-point play.
You see, the Suns aren't running today because their defense hasn't been good enough to stop Dallas, so everything they're doing is sort of in a half-court situation where Dallas can get back and help build the wall on Stoudemire so he can't get out those run-outs that he normally gets.
Marquise Daniels finding newly instated Eric Dampier. Richardson with the dance on Terry and the try by Dampier.
All this happening with Steve Nash on the bench. The lead has been cut to 9. Avery Johnson wants to take a timeout. Mike D'Antoni can buy a couple more possessions. Got a chance to come in and make a strong finish. Dallas has got to pay attention.
The last time Phoenix had a deficit of less than 10 was 35-26 with 10 minutes left in the first half. They've come back from 21 down to within a 95-86 reach. Doug, the 4th quarter in the Houston series, the 4th quarter for Dallas in the Phoenix series, very much under the microscope.
Well, they've been outscored 7-2, and you can see in the wins, they've shot well. They got 3-point percentage has been good. Their free throw attempts, they're down 7-2 to start this quarter. When they don't shoot it well, it's when it's caused them all kinds of problems. So let's see what Avery Johnson gets out of this timeout. I would have to think Dirk Nowitzki, probably some kind of screen roll with Jason Terry.
Nash remains on the Phoenix bench with the game-high 36. It's Howard from Nowitzki. Inside taken away by the Phoenix Suns. Nowitzki guarding Richardson for 3. Picked up by Stackhouse inside. Dallas plus 5 in rebounding in the game.
But the Suns could have got a better shot than that. That was under duress.
Stackhouse rejected by Richardson. And a foul on Quentin Richardson.
Yeah, they're going to call a block on Quentin Richardson. Maurice Stoudemire got the shot clean at the top. But watch Quentin Richardson. They're going to say he is in the restricted area. That's a big break for the Dallas Mavericks as Jerry Stackhouse will go to the line to shoot 2. But here's Stoudemire with a nice block. But Quinn Richardson likes to take those offensive fouls, and his feet were in the restricted area. That's why that foul was called. Stackhouse knocks it down, and here will be Nash coming back into the game for Quinn Richardson.
Doug, we were wondering before what Stackhouse is wearing. He got this body armor on, and Cheryl, you've been able to come to the bottom of what this outfit is all about.
Yeah, actually, he's been wearing it all season long, and it's called supportive underwear, so to speak, and it's 2 separate pieces. He wears the upper body just for comfort, but the lower body to keep his knees warm. He's had a problem all season long with tendonitis, guys.
Thank you, Cheryl. Stoudemire. Nash back in, and Barbosa fouled by Jason Terry. Out of the corner is where he was trying to drive. That's the first foul on Terry. Doug, the balance of Phoenix's offense was one of the big things we were going to watch tonight, and that certainly has been unbalanced, out of whack.
Well, the three's been taken out of the game. There you go. Stoudemire's the first time, and he's challenged by Dampier at the rim.
And this is Jackson trying to come in. And Jackson again. Look at Dampier's defense inside for Dallas.
What a terrific effort by Dampier. 2 blocks on the 1 play.
Inside to Howard. What a pass to Josh Howard, who lays it up and lays it in. Stackhouse with the assist. And Josh Howard with a playoff career high 25 points.
See, those are the kind of plays that will endear Eric Dampier to this crowd. Stoudemire looked like he was going to go up for the dunk, but he got hit on the arm on that play. Should have been shooting 2 free throws. And here comes Jimmy Jackson, misses the play. Loose ball picked up. He comes over and gets another block shot, which leads to a fast break and a 3-point play opportunity there for Josh Howard, who misses the free throw. But I thought that Dampier fouled Stoudemire on that dunk. Looked like he hit him on the right shoulder.
Stoudemire now has 5 personal fouls, as does Richardson for Phoenix. Here is Nash. Mismatch on Dampier. Slips it over on the side to Stoudemire. Shot clock is down to 5. Barbosa for 3. Hustling Barbosa. And a foul on Dallas and Josh Howard.
Well, you can just see how much Phoenix misses a guy like Joe Johnson in a game like this, because they have 1 less offensive player out on the floor that creates. Remember when Steve Nash would sit down, he's been the backup point guard since the Memphis series, so they really miss him being on the floor. His 3-point shooting.
Steve Nash nails a 3-point shot, and tonight Nash 3 of 5. Shooting the triple with a game-high 39 points. And knocks that one out of bounds with 16 on the shot clock. Nash got the free agent offer from Phoenix, and then against the wishes of the Suns, went back to Cuban and said, would you like to match it? Mark Cuban and Dallas said, no, we will not match. And now he's a Sun. Dallas put that money that they could have paid Nash into Dampier. This is Nowitzki. Did he travel? And it call it. He goes up again. And Jackson with the rejection. And Stoudemire comes up with the loose ball. Nash. The switch without Dampier on Nash.
Look at Nash. The ball's like on a string.
Yo-yo. Shot clock at 4. Outside, Barbosa maneuvers for 2. And Nowitzki corrals his 6th rebound.
That would have got it under double digits to 8. That would have been the closest they've been in a long time.
Stackhouse against Barbosa. Panic for 2 and a goaltend on Amari Stoudemire.
That's a matchup. Jerry Stackhouse just too strong for Barbosa. Again, this is where you miss a guy like Joe Johnson. Quentin Richardson on the bench with fouls. Stoudemire comes over. Looks like just as that ball hit the backboard, he got a piece of it.
Nash over Dampier.
Come on now.
Steve Nash with 41 points in 36 minutes.
And that was over the top of Dampier. That was some kind of shot.
Stackhouse Well, he flew in with no Phoenix defense at all.
Well, nobody was communicating that time. With Phoenix, you see Barbosa talking to Jimmy Jackson. Jimmy Jackson wants to guard Stackhouse to take away his post play.
Nash for three. Oh, Steve Nash has put in 44 points.
That's within 9.
What an incredible game for Nash. Stackhouse facing a double.
Should be a 5-second count. Very close to a 5-second count. Jerry Stackhouse took his time, so you can see they're going to go to that matchup. Quentin Richardson waiting to come back into the game for Barbosa.
Stackhouse has put together an 8-point fourth quarter. Nash again slipping inside. He's got 46.
There's a double team trying to stretch out the defense.
They go inside to Dampier, picked up by Stoudemire, but he's got 5 fouls. And Terry for 3.
That's the Jason Terry that we saw against Houston. Game 4, he had a critical 3 to make it a 2-2 series. In Game 7, he was spectacular. Tonight, he's not taken many shots. He's only 3 of 8 from the floor. But Steve Nash, what a shooting exhibition he has put on tonight. The last 5 shots he's taken, I don't think has even rippled the net. But Jason Terry, right at the right time here for the Dallas Mavericks, pushes his lead back to 12.
Dallas leads by 12 with 5.5 to play in regulation. About 2 hours ago, Doug, we showed you these keys for the Dallas Mavericks if they were going to win this Game 4 against Phoenix.
Well, we talked about pace of the game. 100 field goal attempts in Game 3. On the season, they average about 82. Tonight, 74. One of the big reasons they've attempted 25 free throws. Tonight, defend the 3. Phoenix in their win, plus 51 in the 2 games from the three-point line. Tonight, only plus 6 and make shots. When they shoot the ball well, they're tough to beat. They're undefeated. They're 5-1 in the playoffs. 43-3 in the regular season when they shoot 45% or better.
Well, in Game 3, speaking of the three-point shooting, Phoenix was plus 30 points alone Friday night over Dallas in that category.
Dallas showing zone on this possession out of the timeout.
Nash trying to weave his way through it. Shot clock is at 6. It's out of bounds. It's off the Phoenix side. Oh, Nash is upset. He has just committed his 9th turnover.
Again, you talk about the game plan of Dallas. I don't think they thought Steve Nash was going to get close to 50.
Nowitzki pick and roll with Dampier. Inside it goes to Josh Howard.
Dampier's making plays now out on the floor.
Stoudemire. And Jim Jackson to Amari Stoudemire and foul as he went inside.
I just want to follow up a little bit on Phoenix scoring. You look at Marion and Stoudemire. They've combined tonight for 27 points. Nash has 46. In Game 3, Marion and Stoudemire had a combined 58. Steve Nash had 27, but he had 17 assists. So you can see they're going to make Nash a score. We've talked about it. Try to limit Stoudemire and Marion. And that's what they've tried to do tonight. Barbosa only 1 of 7 off the bench. And they've done a nice job with Quentin Richardson. He only has 9. So the supporting players tonight have been held down. Nash has been brilliant, but he has 9 turnovers and only 3 assists.
Amazing. Winding that shot clock down, Nowitzki for 3. The Mavericks have hit their last 6 shots. Nash for 2. Drop-in try by Richardson and a foul on Dallas inside. Goes on Jason Terry. 3-point shooting, the Mavericks 6 of 13. The Suns 7 of 19. Here is Richardson at the free throw line. He has gone 1 of 6 shooting threes. As Quentin Richardson for Phoenix tonight.
Well, you get a little idea of the attention that this young man has got tonight defensively. He's caught the ball in the wing, 2-3 guys running him. He catches it in the post. They've taken away any dunks. Of his 15 points, 9 of them are at the free throw line. So they're trying to keep him as quiet as possible. He dunks the basketball. It energizes this whole team. And tonight they've tried to keep that out of the game.
Dallas shooting 58% from the field for the game. Led by the 27 of Howard and the 24 of Nowitzki and Stackhouse to Josh Howard. Gets his own miss. He has had a terrific night with offensive rebounding. For the Dallas Mavericks, he has collected 6 on the offensive glass.
They started out, he had 5 of those early. He got off to a quick start, got inside, very active. Really jump-started his team tonight.
And Stackhouse for 3. Offensive rebound to Dampier, and a foul as he was shoved from behind.
He was going to pull that ball back out and realize that ball did not hit the rim, so they did not get a new clock. So that was good awareness by Eric Dampier. You know, quietly, he's had a nice night tonight. He had 12 points early in the game, picked up his 4th foul early in the 3rd quarter, but he has 11 rebounds. More importantly, when he's in the game, he gives them a bigger body around the basket. 4 blocks, some alterations. That's why they need him on the floor. They cannot go with Sean Bradley. They cannot go with Alan Henderson, and they cannot go a long period of time with a small lineup.
And no coincidence that in the 2 games that Dampier has played well, as you take a look at Bradley, they have spelled what we believe will be the 2nd Dallas win over Phoenix. He has become quietly a key in the series. But you have talked about other things, Doug, which I think are probably more apropos, taking Stoudemire out, limiting Marion, and giving basically free rein to Nash.
Try to keep him from kicking out for all those open threes, getting in the lane, getting guys dunks. All these threes are challenged, running at him, making him put the ball on the floor. That's a nice little floater by Sean Marion. But defending the 3, that 3-point shot from Phoenix is deadly.
And those are Marion's first 2 points in this 4th quarter. He's got 15. Foul on Sean Marion.
You see Sean Marion, he really gets up and tries to body Dirk Nowitzki. Did it because he's quick enough to try to take away Nowitzki's ability to put that ball on the floor. But look, he tried to take his space away on the floor. Nowitzki wheels through the blocking foul on Sean Marion.
Shot clock begins at 14 seconds, now down to 8. Nowitzki tries to set a screen. Stackhouse attacks the rim. The quick releasing Marion from Nash at the other end.
They scored in 2 seconds, but they can't keep creating baskets here. 3 minutes to go. They got to find a way to get some defensive stops. They got to pitch a shutout here almost if they want to try to win this game today.
Doug, shockingly, only the 8th fast break point for Phoenix tonight.
Because Dallas is shooting so well before they're getting to the free throw line. There's not many opportunities for Phoenix to run. There's Stackhouse again just going inside. And that has been the key tonight. Second chance, going to the boards. Dallas had 24 offensive rebounds in game 3.
So aggressive, the Mavericks tonight. They have certainly matched and surpassed the Phoenix energy. That's a quick pass inside to Josh Howard, who's got a Dallas high 29. And Jason Terry hands out his 8th assist tonight for the Mavericks.
See, his numbers don't say that he had a great game. But Jason Terry has been more aggressive tonight than he's been in the first 3 games of this series. Now, he had a nice little run at the end of game 2. He scored 6 points in the 4th quarter late to help his team, but much more aggressive tonight with his screen rolls.
Doug, they've all been more aggressive.
Well, that's been the difference in the game. Normally, the game goes to the aggressor, and tonight Dallas has made shots.
That's broken up by Nash. And here comes Marion. And Richardson with the 3 ball. The Sun starters, Doug, have accumulated over 100 points for the 3rd time in this series. And look at the minutes played. Marion 44, Stoudemire 41 minutes, Nash and Jackson have both played 42 minutes. It's a short bench, and that's what Mike D'Antoni has got to face the rest of these playoffs.
But that's why Dallas wants it to go to 7. They think they can wear them down in a long series.
The Mavericks are leading late by 11. Tonight's closer of the game is Josh Howard. who's had a terrific night, leading Dallas with 29 points and 10 rebounds. Another double-double for Josh Howard, this second year, former ACC Player of the Year from Wake Forest. And don't miss TNT's new original series, The Closer, Mondays at 9, 8 Central, starting on June 13th with Doug Collins and Cheryl Miller. This is Kevin Harlan. The scoring leaders, a well-balanced attack by the Dallas Mavericks in this Game 4, which could, in a minute and 36, conceivably tie the series at 2 wins apiece.
I thought Dirk Nowitzki had his best offensive game. Obviously, Jerry Stackhouse, his most efficient game. He's been struggling to score from the field, getting to the line. Tonight, 7 of 15, 6 of 6 from the line, got 6 rebounds. So his aggressiveness and energy off the bench. Interesting to see now how Phoenix regroups. They have the home court once again. They go home to America West Arena and push this series back in their favor.
Here's Nowitzki, knocked away by Jackson. And Marion tried to vacuum it in and could not. But the hustle was there by Sean.
I don't think that they reset the shot clock. It's only 2 seconds here, so they've got to be able to throw this ball in and get a quick shot. They said there was no change of possession.
Dallas led by 8 points at the end of the first quarter. The Mavericks had a 16-point halftime lead. Dallas led by 14 after 3. And they're up right now by 11. And here is the schedule. Doug, you and I will be in Phoenix for Game 5 on Wednesday night.
And I think it helps that the Suns have until Wednesday with a shorter bench. The extra day rest should help them at home on Wednesday night.
Doug, I talked a minute ago about all the minutes played by some of these Phoenix players tonight. The most 45 by Marion. You know, the timeouts are so long in the playoffs. It really is a benefit to teams that are going to play their starters a lot of minutes.
Well, no question. Steve Barbosa got 23 minutes tonight, and the reason he did was because Quentin Richardson was in foul trouble, only played 33.
2 seconds on the shot clock. Howard almost beat it. Had he hit that, it would have counted. Nash with the game high 46. The other way. He's got 48 in 42 minutes.
This guy is indefatigable. Kevin, in case you know what that means, that means Coach. He doesn't get tired.
I got that. Thank you so much.
I just wanted to help you, all right?
That is an Illinois State term.
That's one of my crossword puzzle words.
Nowitzki in the shot clock at 6. That's a foul. Sean Marion from behind was trying to knock it away, and he is hit with his 4th foul of the game. TNT has got some great Game 5s coming up for you. On Tuesday night, the exclusive doubleheader will take you to Auburn Hills and to San Antonio. The Pacers and Pistons tied at 2 apiece. The Sonics and the Spurs tied at 2 apiece. Wednesday, Doug and I, as I mentioned, Game 5 in Phoenix, the Mavs and the Suns. The coverage will begin on Wednesday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time. They just changed that foul to Nash, and he's over there pleading his case. That's the 4th on Steve. Offensive rebound by Stackhouse.
That's sort of a microcosm of this entire game right there. Just a second chance. The energy and effort on the boards tonight from Dallas. They were a step quicker. Phoenix got to go home and regroup. And expect Amari Stoudemire and Sean Marion to be much more involved in Game 5.
With 2 on the shot clock, the miss by Stackhouse. And here's Nash. He's got 48. Will he try for 50? Marion for 3. Nowitzki with it. And folks, we're going to take you back to Phoenix with the series tied at 2 wins apiece. Dallas comes up with a clutch win in Game 4. The 4 teams that remain in the West, the Suns, the Mavs, the Sonics, the Spurs, all tied up in their respective series and 2 wins apiece. Great job tonight, Doug. Let's go to Cheryl Miller.
Eric, from your head coach Avery Johnson to your teammate over here, Dirk, they said that if you stay on the floor, not in foul trouble, this is a different team. Tell me what the difference was for you tonight.
Well, I just went out, and played the best that I could. Whenever he put the ball on the floor, whenever he drive, I just try to contest the shot. Start getting those little ticky-tacky fouls that I got in the last game. So I think the key for us tonight just stay on the floor and play good defense and contest all the shots that he takes.
We talked about before the game about how to contain Amari Stoudemire. Tonight you did an excellent job. What did you do differently?
Well, we did an excellent job on the pick and rolls. Like I said earlier, that's where he scored the majority of his points. We had a lot of guys helping out on him tonight, and we were able to contain that pick and roll.
And Dirk, the team, the bench stepped up tonight. And offensively, what did you guys do differently tonight? Because everything that you guys threw up went in.
I thought we moved the ball a little more. In game 3, everything was stuck. Everything was one-on-one. We ran into a wall, and they had the setup. The defense was set up, and we never really got good shots. And today, I thought we'd try to push it more, get good shots on the break, play more pick and roll, and let's just get their defense a little moving. And I think that was a big key for us.
You said from the very beginning that as long as you get production out of your center position, you guys will be fine. Talk about the big fella's performance tonight.
Well, it was great. I thought, he's getting fouls early in the games, and that really gets us in trouble. We got to play small balls a lot, and tonight I thought he did a good job playing hands out. I mean, Amari is a handful, and he'll get his numbers, but just as long as he finds a way to stay in the game, be productive for us, we're a different team.
All right, Dirk, thanks for your time. All right, EJ, the Mavs with a 10-point lead, go back to Phoenix, all tied up. Let's send it back to you in our Atlanta studio.